Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, given myself a little bit of a challenge. I'm calling it sort of a free-to-play challenge, not like the Hell Hades one, but where we are basically going to see, can we build a good arena team using only freely accessible champions? What would we use? Which champs would make it in, etc. And I'm going to try keep it to more recent ones. So for example, Ultimate Death Knight, I won't include because it's been honestly quite a while since you could get him for free. So yeah, and I think breaking it down by role should be helpful as well. So let's see, can we build a complete live arena roster using only free and accessible champions? Let's go. So where am I going to start with building? Let's see, I guess we're not going to start with damage, but you could, you need to do damage to win. Let's start with speed though. I think we are very much in a speed meta right now, with Pinpoint, with Wands of Submission, etc., with the Fabian fusion recently as well. There's so much threat from going first. Just go first, kill the enemy, lock them out, whatever. It's tough to deal with. So I do think speed boost. Let's start with speed. So speed boosters and speed threat. Let's split it up like this. So a speed booster is someone, and in fact, let's pick our first champion. You'll never guess who it is. One of the most iconic champions in the game. We're going to pick Arbiter for our first champion, our classic speed booster. What are we looking for with a speed booster? Well, a speed aura is not essential, but it's really nice. We're going to need to make sure we've got good access to arena speed auras that are good. But a speed booster is essentially, or I should really call them maybe a turn meter booster. They're going to be providing us with lots of turn meter boosting, which means that champions or speed threats are going to... these are champions that are going to be fast, but are doing something. Usually they need accuracy as well, right? They're going to be doing something like placing bombs or increasing enemy skill cooldowns or stunning the enemy, that sort of thing. They're a champion that will go fast and try to stop the enemy from doing anything, try to take control. Usually they need accuracy, so they're not going to be quite as fast, which is where a champion who's purely focused on speed and filling turn meter, perhaps the increased speed buff, perhaps instant turns, anything like that, is going to be ideal. They don't need accuracy, they can just build full speed, and bam, there we go. Or maybe you build a little bit of accuracy, but it's not really a priority. Now, who else would we go for with another, and here's a great way to do it. Come in over here, we'll include our Master Vault, I guess we'll leave out the Reserve Vault. We'll come into the other effects, positive effects. Look for fill turn meter. Let's see, anyone here that is particularly free to play, accessible. I'm going to go with an option that will take you a long time, but a lot of players will get. Everyone can get eventually. It's not a fusion that's going to expire or anything like that. I'd say, for example, Aestrid would be a very good, similar to Arbiter type champion that you could pick, but she was a fusion from about a year ago. I'm going to go with Lamasu. You may not have Lamasu yet, but I think she's incredibly strong and well worth fitting in. So Lamasu comes in. Unlike Arbiter, who's boosting up our whole team, Lamasu is going to be boosting up a single ally, also giving them intercept, which is nice, resetting their skills. I think this is going to be fantastic. She's got a slightly worse aura, but incredible base speed. She's like a mini Shu Zen, especially with a good damage dealer or a good lockout champion, anything like that that can take control of the fight. This is a speed threat that is well worth considering. So we'll go Lamasu. And there we go. I think we've got two good speed boosters. Let's look at some speed threats then. So who are we going to use? This is a champion, effectively, who will go after the speed booster and be a threat. Or perhaps if the enemy doesn't have many fast champions, they could be fast enough themselves. Let's go with Fabian. We're going to lock him in as the obvious pick. One of the most recent fusions and just fantastic. How is he a speed threat? Well, we build him fast. We build him with high accuracy, and he will come in, and he will remove buffs from enemies, and he will increase all their cooldowns. Simple, effective. And then he can even start chaining True Fears and Petrification and just take complete control of the fight. So Fabian is an easy pick. I will put in Armans here as well. He's a year old now at this point, so it is sort of pushing the boundaries, but we'll put him in as a great option as well, just for the obvious champion that everyone who has him is going to build him and use him for arena, unless you've got a moral objection to using him. But Armand, again, why is he a speed threat? He's actually brings a speed aura, which is great, but high base speed, and he can either AoE stun and steal turn meter, or he can turn somebody into a sheep. He does struggle, of course, at Wand of Submission. I think he will fall off a little bit, but we're looking for free-to-play accessible stuff, and like it does not get more powerful from a free-to-play perspective than Arman's. Probably the best arena fusion of all time. Fabian, though, very, very good. And honestly, Arbiter and Lamasu, both super good as well. Let's put in one final one. We'll go with Macag, Lady Macag. I think she's great as well. So she's got, again, extremely high base speed. And yeah, we can swap her into Form 2, and she has an AoE stun with turn meter decrease. She's pushing back turn meter over here. She can be sleeping and decreasing turn meter on her A1. She can strip buffs, increase accuracy as well, giving us a lot of options. And of course, then she's still got that Form 1 threat of the increased attack, crit damage, ally attack. It's fantastic in removing debuffs from our highest attack ally and manipulating buffs, etc., etc. I think she's bringing in a lot. You're going to have her in really good gear no matter what. And you're usually going to have her at pretty good speed. Like, for example, for me, she's 360. It's good enough, right? My Macag is specifically not built for arena, but this would probably be good enough for me. And, you know, that's for my level of speed and whatnot. It's a little bit slow for where I'm at, but it's not too bad for arena. Definitely viable. So, yeah, we'll put in Macag as another speed threat. Let's build up some damage. So we do need to kill people. I'm going straight in. The most obvious choice, I think, is Sun Wukong. Most people will have him from the promo code. You know, for new players starting the game, most of you will have that, and he's incredibly good. Again, he's giving us an arena speed aura, so just with these free champions, we're already totally covered with the speed auras. We don't need to worry. And he can just win the entire fight with 1A2. 1A2 can wipe out an entire enemy team, even with no increased attack buff. It is that strong. It's genuinely completely broken. And yeah, his passive is going to keep him coming back. So he's giving us speed aura, the potential to win any fight, and he's going to keep bringing himself back. So everything we want in a damage dealer, and we can build him in pure damage. We don't need reaction. We don't need stone skin. We can just go merciless, our best merciless gear if we want, and just lay out some damage. Again, we're mixing and matching. Although we're going free to play, we're not going early game. I know this can upset people sometimes. You pick a free to play champion, and they say, "No, it's not free to play because it's late game." But it is like Lamasu, Arbiter, even all of these they're all free to play accessible. You just have to play for a good while. Carnage is the hardest one to get to, but I want to pick him here, and we'll pick more damage, obviously, to back it up. But yeah, can we build that late game team? I think we're building like a late game proper arena team, like a massive setup here, which is freely accessible champs, which is nuts. Carnage takes a long time to get, but he is ridiculously powerful. He's one of my top picks actually right now. I only have him 3-star, which again, for my account is relatively low. I'm more rocking 5-star and stuff. But for example, I'm picking Carnage at 3-star far more than I pick 6-star for Alni. He's on another level in arena, I think. I think he's actually top tier in arena. I personally actually probably prefer Carnage almost to Marius. Like, it's kind of insane. I think he's so underrated when it comes to arena. I genuinely think 4.7 is underrated. Genuinely. That is really, really underrating him. The guy's a monster. Why is he so good? Again, he brings us one of the best arena auras in the game. This block passives, block actives, and the turn meter steal. Then the seal debuff, stealing their buff. But because he can debuff spread when he kills enemies in particular, this makes him insanely good. And we're going to pop him into Stone Skin. We're going to give him Lightning Cage. He can steal buffs too, and Lightning Cage to protect them. But he can effectively block the passives, which is one of the scariest things about so many of these champions. Block active skills prevents mythicals from transforming as well. It's incredibly powerful, counters so many champions, neuters their danger to him. The only thing he really fears is polymorph. So I've got mine with Cat's Gaze for damage, but you could totally give him Wand of Submission to protect him from polymorph. He does need good accuracy. He doesn't even need crazy damage, genuinely. Like, building with decent damage, you don't need to go crazy, but good accuracy, land the debuffs. And once you've got, if you kill one person and you spread these debuffs, even you spread those 3 debuffs on the enemy team, you basically have won the fight. Swap over to Form 2 and he will kill them all. It literally doesn't matter. He's ignoring an extra 30% defense. His multipliers are ridiculous. He's got almost 2,000 base attack. You have just won the fight. Congrats. So job done. Let's put in. Let's do the obvious ones. Marius, right? Again, late game champion. You have to finish all of the Marius missions. It takes a long time, but he absolutely makes this list. Obviously, everyone who has Marius, you should consider building him for Arena. I've got him in Slayer. This is not ideal. For Arena, you'd want him probably in 4 Lethal, 4 Stone Skin, and to be probably your fastest nuker so that he can remove Stone Skin for your other nukers if you're running double. And he's very scary as a speed threat because, he can just do enough damage to wipe out an entire enemy team if he's fast. Him plus Lamasu is kind of terrifying. Shoot Marius up to the top of the turn order. He just buffs up and nukes, and it can win a bunch of fights just like that. It's that crazy. Doubly good against Stone Skin, but even better if they don't. So Marius is an obvious pick. We've got 3. Let's put in Embris as well. Another obvious pick. Our other free mythical. I think it does not take as long to get him as Carnage. I'd expect you get Macag first, probably. Probably Embris not that far behind. He's slow, but he's steady. You just do a bit of Chimera. You're getting a few fragments every week. It's going to take you months. It took me about 3 months. That's clearing the top difficulties. It might take 6 months. It might take 9. I don't know. But you'll get there. You'll actually get there, considering how strong he is, surprisingly quick. I need to re-gear mine into lethal at some point. I was hoping to get a soul to do it. We didn't get that, unfortunately. But he brings you the ability to remove Stone Skin, some crowd control in Form 1. His passive is incredible, actually. And in Form 2, he is a phenomenal nuker who can keep himself alive. So yeah, Embris definitely goes in. I realize we've gone fairly endgame, but it is what it is. Let's look at some other potential options as well that we can put in here. Actually, we need more champions, don't we? We need definitely one more. Let's put in go second champion. Ooh, okay. Here's a spicy pick. Here is a spicy pick because this is my concern. If I'm looking at this, even just these champions, we have 9 champions so far. If I could pick only one more, a 10th champion, the thing that I'm worried about is enemies that are really fast. If we're up against really fast enemies, now yes, we can have our speed threat, Fabian and Armand's, really good in supersonic gear. Potentially we can cut in Macag as well. All of these champs potentially we can cut in. We'll potentially have Stone Skin and Lightning Cage to protect it. So we've got a chance to survive, but we could still be in a lot of trouble. Like, what if the enemy brings in, let's say, Shuzen and Commodus? We're in trouble, okay? We're in a lot of trouble at that point. Or even Shuzen and Nishak, even Gaius maybe would screw us. Definitely Nishak as well. Just I'm faster than you, and I've got bombs, or I don't know, I've got anything like that. That could be a real threat because we don't have a surplus of good speed boosters. We've got 2 good options, and we've got 3 good speed threats. I think it's a great selection, but speed could still be a problem, and especially depending on bans. Go second option. We are going. Did you see this coming? Maybe, maybe not. We're going to go for Cardinal. We are going to go for Cardinal, an accessible option because she is an epic. Put her on your soul wish list. Try to get the 5-star soul. And the goal with Cardinal is simple. We're going to build her slow. We'll put her in Stone Skin. Probably give her Lightning Cage to be safe, to protect. Oh, no, you can't give her Lightning Cage. Oh, you can't. That's a problem. You're going to have to put her in Stone Skin and pray. I guess triple reaction in case you're up against Embris, who can remove her Stone Skin and she get killed. Reaction might keep her alive. We'll leave her pretty slow. We're doing it just for this move. Full team revive and puts turn meter to max. This is better than putting turn meter to 100% because turn meter, as you probably know, goes over 100%. And champions can... It depends. This will put them to max turn meter, so they'll have a go. I think extra turns and instant turns and stuff will go first, but then they will go before anyone else on the natural turn order. So this can bring you back in. So yeah, the enemy blows up our whole team with Commodus. At least we've got a chance to fight back with Cardinal. We've got a chance. Slap her in there. Just super high resistance, really high resist. Give her a relic with resistance if you've got one. I actually don't have any, but if you do, great. Inferno Sphere, something like that. Try get her the 5-star soul for resistance. At least 4 pieces of Stone Skin, probably more. As much resistance as you can. Perhaps reaction accessories to stop anti-Stone Skin champions. And yeah, have her resist the bombs, resist the crits with the Stone Skin shield or reaction, and then she gives you a chance to fight back. I did consider Lady Noel. as being similar, but her revive is not actually quite as good as... She's a better champion, certainly, overall, and she is a recent fusion, so we can absolutely put her in. Lady Noel, you do the same sort of build. High resist, and yeah, high resist, stone skin, perhaps reaction, and just try to survive stuff. And there you go. Let's put in a couple more options. I'll put in Arix as well as being super viable, even endgame, very underrated. Arix, she's a free login champ. Again, it takes, I think, about 1.5 years to get her, but she's got great base stats, and her A1 just slams out the damage. Even if you're locked out by an enemy, she can still keep in slamming in the damage and rip through squishy teams with her A1, just constantly pumping out AoEs. She's actually really good. I think she's very, probably, 4.7 might be about right. Maybe people not underrating Arix anymore. People have copped on, but I run into a few Arixes and they can be kind of scary. Mad Hatter is one to mention. You could run him as a turn meter boost champion. Not perfect for it, but he could, and he could be doing some of this stuff. So let's put in Mad Hatter. And let's take a look at the fusion list. Okay, so here we go. We're on hellhades.com. Obviously, I write for it. We've got all the fusions and whatnot. So yeah, Mad Hatter. You could totally build him as a speed booster. The others, you could use Lysanthier as a damage dealer. He's not perfect for it, but you could. You could totally use Gretel. You could totally use Thor. They'd totally be viable. Aestrid, as I said, yeah. I say we've picked sort of the best ones. We could totally put in Thor as a backup damage dealer. Again, a little bit awkward because you don't love to build. And same thing with Mad Hatter. You don't usually build Mad Hatter as absolutely fast as possible, though you could. He kind of really wants accuracy because his A2 is so good. But it's an option. And yeah, Thor would much prefer to be in Stone Skin and Lethal for Arena, but you probably want to build Thor in 6 pieces of Merciless. So that could be a bit tricky. But then again, it is an option. Freya would be a good option. That's recent as well. Lots of good options. But I think there we go. We have set ourselves up with, I think, fairly successful. And let's put in a couple of budget options as well for folks as well. Why the heck not? So we could put in, I think, Haikatoon. There's a very budget option. She's much worse than these other champions, but still, she comes in. She's got, 19% aura. It's okay. Increased speed and a 15% turn meter fill, much lower base speed. She's nowhere near as good, but you get her a month in. It really doesn't get much more budget than that for champions that are actually okay in Arena. For speed threat, let's actually do one that crosses the boundaries. Let's put in like Alice. There we go. As our champion, she could come in, right? Because she has increased skill cooldown and damage. So she's sort of that weird mix. Let's put her in. She's a weird mix, sort of Embris. Actually, let's do a gap here. And let's put in Embris as well, almost. Embris, too. These are, I don't know. We could even put Carnage here, honestly. Honestly, almost all of, you know what? No, let's just put them in damage, but they sort of combine. It's part of why, honestly, they are that good, which is that they combine. Let's put Embris higher to kind of indicate that he is sort of our best option. These champions, even Arix has a stun, but if they go first, not only can they simply kill you, but they do have the potential to control you. Not so much Wukong. A little bit, but not so much. But very much Carnage can spread block actives and passives. Marius can stun or enfeeble. Embris can control. Alice can increase your skills. They do combine a good element of both the speed threat and damage roll. And there was... I meant to put in another champion. Now I've forgotten. Hang on. Let me think for a second. I forgot. I literally needed a second. I've literally just gone and unpaused straight away. That's right. Artor. Of course. He's coming in probably like 2 or 3 days. Artor, he could be a speed booster. He could also be a go second champion. Let's say he's going to be more of your speed booster. That's going to be just straight up better. Udex Artor. We'll give him his full name. No, we won't, because we've not given really anyone else their full name. Just put in Artor. There we go. So, and bam. Again, if I would... let me put these in order. Let me put these probably in order of what I would do. I probably would run Artor over the Mad Hatter, but it's a close thing. Mad Hatter has higher base speed and a bigger turn meter boost. Artor's got the speed aura. I think I'd run Artor. So yeah, I would do, say 1. Let's number the ones we'd actually use. 1 and 2, Arbiter Lamasu. Obviously, if you're too early in the game to have Lamasu, go with Artor. Go with Haikatsun, Mad Hatter. Bam. I mean, you've got plenty of speed boosters there. For these, I think I would still run Armans first. Let's say 1 for Armans, 2 for Fabian, 3 for Macag. Let's come up with another budget option. There's not that many, but let's think of a budget. A budget option would probably be Basher would do the job. Basher would do the job. He's a lockout. Skill increase cooldown. Not the best, but he can do it. He's got low base speed is his big problem and no base accuracy, but he does increase skills. He's void affinity, so he won't weak hit. So you build him like kind of Alice, but you don't focus on the damage. He'd be a decent budget option that could be viable and get you in there. Again, because he's an epic, he's one that you can guarantee a bit more. You could, in terms of the free champs, you could build a really fast Vizix, but again, with 97 base speed and no accuracy, and Stone Skin stopping the provoke, I don't think so. Whereas Basher can hit through Stone Skin. So I put him in as a potential option. I think you'll probably have more gear for building speed threats because you can use like Perception, Supersonic, lots of good ones. Speed boosters are more focused in on pure speed. It's harder to build really fast champions. For damage, if I was to put these in actual order, I would say Marius, Carnage, 1 and 2. I'd say Embris, Wukong, and I put the others. So I do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And one really good thing about this, by the way, defense gear with Stone Skin, attack gear with Stone Skin and accuracy, HP gear with Stone Skin, and Wukong Merciless. So we've got a nice mix right there. And again, Alice, Arix, Thor. Go for your starter champion otherwise, or if you've pulled a good damage epic or a good damage legendary, they just need to do damage. Again, as you can see, it's preferable if they're bringing some really powerful like control or utility as well. And for go second, I'd say Cardinal number 1. And I mean, that gives us our top 10, and I think we'll leave it there, right? 5, 4, yeah, there we go. Top 10 would be those with some ideas. Let's put in Mithrala as another potential go second option, because Mithrala comes in, definitely worth mentioning. Not only is she amazing, obviously, for a lot of PvE bosses, but she does bring in essentially extremely high resistance because her accuracy gets added on to it. And then she can cleanse you, give you strengthen and shield, and maybe keep you in the fight and keep you going. So I'll definitely mention her as a good go second option. I actually think I would probably go for Cardinal, though, over her as just a screw it, high resist. Let's just revive everyone and pray. And there we go. Okay, our list of accessible champions. All of them are either epics, recent logins, recent fusions. Obviously, Arman's stretching it a little bit, but hey, there we go. Let's put in like Ancora, I guess, as a fusion almost within. Nah, she's not been within the last year, so we'll leave her out. We're including Arman's, a little cheeky, but there we go. Let me know, what do you think? Are there any free-to-play champions that I have missed out on? But genuinely, you build out these 2 speed boosters, these 3 control champions, these 4 damage champions, and then a couple of backup champs, especially if you got like really good anti-speed stuff like Hegemon or whatever. You know, great. Yeah, pull any mythicals that are good for arena. Don't bother with the ones that are bad, but good mythicals. Hell yeah. Oh, by the way, new players that get Supreme Galek, you could totally use him for arena as well, because he's got a great passive. When he gets crowd controlled, removes it, heals him extra turn, and then he could nuke and potentially kill. And he self-buffs increase attack. So let's actually put him in as a budget option for newer players that might be joining now. And for go second, we'll put in Ruark as well. He'd definitely be lower on my list for sure, but Green Warden Ruark, he's a current promo code, and he is giving you a shield when people die. He could put up a taunt and whatnot. Obviously, if you've got UDK, he's great too. But there you go. Guys, let me know any other recent champions or freely accessible champions that you think make it in. I genuinely think with just these 10 champions, it's actually kind of crazy how strong of an arena setup you can build with just free champions. Like, it's endgame viable. You know, like, sure, you're going to struggle against the Krakens, but everyone's going to struggle against the Krakens. Like, you know, if some, like I fought an arena fight just there, for example, who had like a +4 6-star Sifi or something, and it's like, and I think he had a 6-star Odin, +4 6-star Rotus. Like you're just not going to have a good time. They just have so much advantage in terms of stats. The champions almost becomes irrelevant. They're just going to beat you down with brute force. But yeah, it's kind of nuts how strong the free to play champs are for Arena. There you go. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and hopefully it was insightful or somewhat helpful, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.